Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have for you my top 10 best EDC folding knives of 2021 in my collection that are $50 and under. There was a lot of great budget knives this year, and that's why I had to kind of stop at the $50 price point, and then I'll go up from there. But let's get started. Starting out at number 10, these are in the order that I see them, you know, how they go, would be the Cold Steel Mini Recon 1. It's a good, if you ever wanted the triad lock, this is a good way to get into it. It is a smaller knife. It fits my medium-sized hands just right. So if you have large hands, probably want to pass on this one. But like I said, get the triad lock, nice thin frame on here, decent weight on here, also 10 blade steel. Cuts decent. It's more of a work knife. It's not thin behind the edge or anything, but it will get the job done in a pinch and can handle those more aggressive tasks. OS 10 is a stainless steel. The action on it is as good as you can get with the back lock. You can drop it on that hand right there without getting cut because it has this little flat spot. Love the stone wash finish on there. Very nice right there. The Recon 1 will set you back $49, and definitely think it's a good little knife. That's number 10, the Cold Steel Recon 1 Mini. Number 9 is coming from Shieldon Knives. This is the EMPOLEON. One thing that I can say so far about Shieldon Knives is they know how to tune a detent. This thing comes out with authority. Let me just watch. I mean, it almost looks like it's assisted. Comes out snappy. D2 steel, but they have it coated so you don't have to worry about it getting rusted. You can get this gray titanium coating or you can get it black. It's just a simple, clean, contoured G10 scales. Just nothing fancy, but it got the job done and it held an edge for a considerable amount of time. And I don't think you'd be disappointed if you bought this, you know, as a work knife, office knife, anything like that. It's not wide by any means, so it's not going to take up a lot of real estate in the pocket. This will set you back $50. I have several other Shieldon knives on the way. Got one coming next in 14C28N, and I'm almost done testing that one. Y'all stay tuned for that one. But that is holding down the number 9 spot, Shieldon EMPOLEON. Coming in at number 8, coming from KIZER, we have the Mini BEGLEITER. I never did a full review on this one. I don't know, I guess because I felt like they had the regular size BEGLEITER for so long out. I never got around to this one, but it's an exceptional little knife. They're $50, riding on bearings. I mean, look at the action on this thing. I mean, stupid smooth. Look at that. Whoop. Excellent action. It's another smaller, medium to small knife. Fits my hands perfect. You get a deep carry pocket clip there, but it is right hand tip up only. I love thumb stud deployers, and that reverse tanto blade is perfect for utility tasks and stuff like that. I love, you know, doing those drag cuts with that tip. This works perfect for that. And it has a beautiful green canvas micarta on there. That is the American micarta right there. Shadow boxed over here. I do have a lanyard hole for the lanyard people. Awesome little knife. That is the KIZER Mini BEGLEITER. In N690 steel, if I didn't say that. At number 7 is one coming from Sencut, the only company that made it twice in this list, and this is the Sencut SCEPTER. I expected this knife in the beginning of the year. This came out like I think in February or so, and I expected this to, you know, be very high on the list because it's a good little knife, especially for the price point. That's kind of how I rate it. It's like, I think they're like $40. If I'm not correct, I'll put it up here. The blade shape is just a good all around blade shape. You can do utility tasks, you can do slicing, you can do just about everything with all the other blade shapes with this it's almost a spear point, but it comes down as a drop point, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Nice stone wash finish on there. I love the dual deployment. You got the thumb studs and you get that flipper tab, and it's a very non-obtrusive flipper tab. Doesn't stick out that far, works just fine. Riding on bearings. It's in the 9CR stainless steel, so that's nice for people like myself that live in the South. High humidity, D2 can rust on you, so I like the 9CR when possible, or any other stainless. Deep carry pocket clip, left or right hand tip up on this one. Excellent little bargain right here, the Sencut SCEPTER. Next up, coming in at number 6, it's a very good looking knife in my opinion. It's coming from MIGURON Knives. It is a AKRI. I think this is an absolutely beautiful knife. The lines just flow nicely. You have very nicely done contoured G10 scales. This one's coated. You can also get it non-coated as well. There's only 2 things really that I didn't love about this knife, and it's not that bad. I'm not usually a fan of colored stainless steel liners. They're gold there, but it kind of goes with the the blacked out nature of the knife. And also I wish it would have been a little bit easier to get to that lock bar. It's not impossible, but I gotta like shove the fat of my thumb in there to disengage it. Now the action on this thing's very smooth. This is a nice full-size knife. I think it's almost 9 inches long. Very comfortable in hand, no hot spots. Milled titanium pocket clip there. You have these nice little accents. This just looks like a higher end knife. You can get this knife for 44 bucks. $44, I think that is an absolute steal. The steal on here, speaking of, is something that I had never tried before. This is DC 53 steel, and I've read up on it, and it's supposed to be kind of like D2, but magnified. Are similar to Sleipner steel, which is great in a budget platform. I haven't had enough use with the steel, being that this is only my second knife that I've tested with it so far, to really start drawing a conclusion about it. But it did, and so far this one did just as good as D2. I don't know how much better it did. I don't know if I will ever be able to tell that, but it's still an awesome knife for $44. And if this blade shape doesn't do it for you, they also have another cool one that I would call it a second runner up to this one, and that is this bad boy. This is the Valona. Now this is a big knife. You have like I think it's a 4.2 or 4.3 inch blade. Look at that. And this one is a traditional flipper. Good action, dual fullers, so you can use those fullers to spidey flick it. Very nice. Pretty comfortable in hand. Now the scales are flat on this one, unlike the contoured ones here. So this one's definitely a little bit more comfortable in hand, but this one's not bad whatsoever. So if you like big knives, this one might be for you. And if you rather coated blade, they have coated blades in this one as well. If you go on their site and they're sold out, don't freak out, because I noticed they restock just about every month. So you'll be just fine. I did notice I had bought 3 of the budget Migurons, and I did notice that the edges on all 3 of them were just subpar, and I think 1 or 2 of them were barely a working edge, and the edge bevels weren't the same. One was a lot wider than the other. So if you don't know how to sharpen, or you don't feel like sharpening, then you might want to stay away from these knives until they get those kinks worked out. But that is a MIGURON knives, AKRI and the Valona. It's a company that really impressed me this year. Previous years, not so much, but they really got their stuff together this year. And that is KUBEY knives, and this is the Nova. I just reviewed another one I'll show you in a second, but the Nova it has really just impressed me all around. They had a premium version of this first with, I think it was like all tin and titanium. Now it's something different. But they came out with the more budget-friendly version of this right here. And this is model number KU117. And you can pick this up for $42. $42, I think it's an excellent, excellent knife. It's very, very comfortable in hand. If it's just about a 4-inch blade, it might be a 4-inch. If not, it's really close. Very comfortable with that deep choil right here, and this little, how it just kind of ramps up right there. It's so comfortable. It locks in my hand very nicely, and the action on this knife is stellar. Love how they did that flipper tab. They canted it back right there, and watch the action. Ooh, comes out with authority. They have so many different variations of this, so many different colors of G10 and blasted blades, stonewash blade, you name it, they have it. The Nova has definitely excited me. Nice and slicey D2 blade here. Deep carry pocket clip, left or right hand tip up on this one, riding on bearings. Awesome knife. And if this one doesn't do it for you, like I said, I just now reviewed this KU901F. If you haven't seen this, definitely go check it out so you can see how well it did in the testing. They came extremely sharp. This one's also nice and thin, and this one's super comfortable as well because of this scoop right there. Love that harpoon. It locks me in really nicely. This one just does it just a little bit better, not by a whole bunch. This one has a better action than this one as well. This one has, it's not, I wouldn't call it a soft detent. It comes out, but it's just not as dialed in as the Nova right there. Another one that's $42. And then, all right, this next one in the number 4 spot, I haven't yet finished the review, but I'm very close to it. It's coming from Sencut, and that is the Sencut Honoris. So far, this knife has just wowed me. Excellent slicer. Very comfortable in hand. That micarta is nice and soft. You got that nice elongated blade hole right there. 9CR stainless steel. Very nice fidgety action on it. You have that flipper tab as well. Excellent spotty flickable knife. Deep carry pocket clip. Left or right hand tip up. I mean, we know that We Knives, who makes Civivi and Sencut, they got their stuff together, and you know, they're one of the leading knife manufacturers overseas, in my opinion, along with like Riot and stuff like that. But as far as budget blades, I think they have the market sewed up as of right now. We'll see in the future if any of these other companies can go past them. But this one's awesome. The Honoris comes in at $44. And if this one doesn't do it for you, another one that I reviewed earlier this year is the Sencut Snap. This is a little bit larger of a knife. As you can see, it's not huge, but it's a little bit longer than the Honoris. This one has really nice action. It's a good fall shut. Comes out very fast. Both of them on bearings. Comfortable in hand. It's just something about this one. I don't know. It's just kind of plain. Even though I love clip points, this one just did it for me. And I find this one to be even more comfortable in the hand. This is the Sencut Honoris. All right, we're down to the top 3 now. Coming in at number 3 is the Damn Designs Invictus. Oh yeah, this was, I think, the second Damn Design knife that I had tested. The first one, it did great. I didn't love the blade shape on it, but then I got this one and I tested it, and boy, God, it really shocked me. These, I think, were made by KUBEY knives for Damn Designs. This particular one's in D2. He has a pre-order up right now on his site. You can get this knife right here in 14C28N or S35VN. The action on every one of them, I think I own 4 of these budget ones. They run $50 for the D2 and I think $55 for the 14C. And the action on all of them, look, just watch. Comes out super fast, nice and smooth on the close, comfortable in hand because you have these, pretty much all of them have the wide handle scales. These, in my opinion, will make great work knives because you're not going to get fatigued as fast with this wider grip right here because it's really filling out the hand. They got multiple different blade shapes, so if this one doesn't do it for you, they have clip points, they have Warncliffes, they have Tantos, they have look-alike Tanto. they got all kinds of blade shapes. They keep a lot of the same handles for certain ones, which I think is cool. Especially if you have, say, you love the handle of this one, but blade shape's not for you. Maybe the other one is. So you have tip up, left or right hand. You can see the little filler tab right there. Their decorative style pivot that they put on all their knives. They do an excellent job of designing those flipper tabs to where they're canted in that direction instead of this direction, so it doesn't poke your finger every time you flip it. Easy access to the lock bar. Definitely a fidgetable knife. You can sit there and do this all day. That is the Damn Designs Invictus. Down to the final two, and I will say this was a very hard decision. It could have went either way. I mean, every knife that I've shown you all is something I recommend because they're all awesome knives. But how I review my knives, I look at blade performance, the deployment and the action, the ergos, the hardware, how it carries, the lockup, and is it a good value, good bang for your buck. And I went through, once again, even after the review, I went through both of these knives and finally came to the conclusion. Number two, coming from Petrified Fish, is the Beluga. This particular Beluga wasn't the one I reviewed. I reviewed this one. Yeah, I liked it that much. I got two of them. This is the G10, this is the micarta, and this is the blasted finish, and this is the the black wash finish. Watch the action on this thing. Whoop! This knife right here is 47 bucks. Micarta is $49. For this price, it's hard to beat this. Let me put this one up. You got this nice broad blade, so it's gonna come down. It comes down to a nice thin edge. I think it's like 17 thousandths behind the edge, somewhere around there. Contoured scales. The wide scales fill out that hand really nicely. The action on both of them, very, very nice. You can use the fuller right there to thumb flick it if you like, spotty flick it if you like, or you can see the protrusion right here. You do have a front flipper. Now I will say that the front flipper on this coated blade is more comfortable than the front flipper on this one because I feel that tip a little bit more on this one. I'm guessing the coating kind of dulled that out a little bit. Something to note, I don't really use the front flipper because I enjoy the other methods of deployment much more. I'm not that big on a front flipper, but that's just me. You get a nice deep carry pot clip that goes all the way to the end if you like that, and it's tip up left or right hand carry. If you haven't checked out this review yet, you need to go check it out, see how well this knife did. Sliced, diced, and was taking names. Absolutely love it for the price. It's hard to beat, but there was one knife that beat it. All right, that number one spot, it had two brothers fighting each other because they were also so close, but they were from the same family. And coming in at the number one spot, it was tough, but it came to the Civivi RIFFLE. I think I called it when I reviewed this knife. I knew it would at least be in the top three. It performed outstanding. Definitely check this review out if you haven't seen it. It's nice and comfortable in hand, lightweight, super fidgetable. I mean, look at that blade hole right there. You can spotty flick it. You can regular flip it. You can thumb flip it. You can roll it. You can do all the good stuff. This one's in micarta, brown micarta. Tip up, left or right hand carry. Stainless steel liner lock on bearings. Smooth action. This one is even a little thinner than the Beluga. I think it was at 16 thousandths on this one. I've sharpened this one up not too long ago because it was due for a sharpening, and boy, the thing I love about this knife right here, it's in 14C 28N stainless steel. Takes a wicked, not touching it. Takes a wicked sticky edge. 14C is a phenomenal budget steel. I prefer it over D2 all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Its properties allow it to take a very keen edge. It was, I think, made for razor blades, I think, back in the day. And also, I think it was a design as a cutlery steel. I'm not sure. I know Kershaw used it a long time. They used to use it a lot in their USA-made models. But I think the dilemma was this knife is excellent, but like I said, it had another knife that I was kind of debating back and forth which one I would want to choose, and that is the Civivi Brazen. This is also in 14C 28N. It came down to this one's a little bit better of a slicer than the Brazen. I mean, you have this almost full flat, or like a slicer grind. It comes as a full flat up here in the front, as you can see right here. And this one just doesn't have as high of a grind, so it's not as thin as the Riffle, but it definitely slices well. It did good in my testing. It's super smooth. I also prefer the blade hole over the thumb stud on this one. It's just easier for my fingers to use, but you know, that's not saying this one's not a fidget king as well. If you don't like the drop point, you can also get it in the Tanto Brazen. If y'all don't remember it, this one used to be a regular Tanto until I snapped the tip off in the review. Yeah, I was an idiot and I snapped the tip off. All of them excellent knives. And though the Riffle comes in at $49, Brazen comes in at $44. And if you want something even cheaper from Civivi, the Badlands Vagabond. This bad boy is $35, but the reason why they're able to get it at $35 because this is FRN scales, which they don't feel cheap because they have a nice little texture on there, so it almost feels like G10. And you have stainless steel on this one as well. This is in the 9CR stainless. You got a nice hollow grind that comes down to a thin edge, comfortable in hand, lightweight. Nice snappy action, just like all the Civivis. Deep carry pocket clip, tip up left or right hand carry. So there you go. That is my top 10, 50 and under. What do you think? Did I miss any that you thought were better? Please let me know, because if I haven't tried them, I'm definitely probably going to pick it up. I always love to find good knives. I think the next price range will be 50 to 100. I know a lot of people like that range, so y'all stay tuned. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.